Chapter 1 of Swiss Family Robinson in Words of One Syllable. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. When one has a good tale to tell, he should try to be brief, and not say more than he can help ere he makes a fair start. So I shall not say a word of what took place on board the ship till we had been 6 days in a storm. The bark had gone far out of her true course, and no one on board knew where we were. The masts lay in splints on the deck, a leak in the side of the ship let more in than the crew could pump out, and each one felt that ere long he would find a grave in the deep sea, which sent its spray from side to side of what was now but a mere hulk. "Come, boys," said I to my 4 sons, who were with me. "God can save us if it please him to do so, but if this is to be our last hour, let us bow to his will. We shall at least go down side by side." My dear wife could not hide the tears that fell down her cheeks as I thus spoke to my sons, but she was calm, and knelt down to pray, while the boys clung round her as if they thought she could help them. Just then we heard a cry of "Land! Land!" felt a shock, and it was clear that we had struck on a rock, for we heard a loud cry from one of the men, "We are lost! Launch the boat! Try for your lives!" I went at once on deck, and found that all the boats had been let down, and that the last of the crew had just left the ship. I cried out for the men to come back and take us with them, but it was in vain. I then thought that our last chance was gone. Still, as I felt the ship did not sink, I went to the stern, and found, to my joy, that she was held up by a piece of rock on each side, and made fast like a wedge. At the same time I saw some trace of land which lay to the south, and this made me go back with some hope that we still had a faint chance. As soon as I got downstairs I took my wife by the hand, and said, "Be of good cheer, we are at least safe for some time, and if the wind should veer round, we may yet reach the land that lies but a short way off." I said this to calm the fears of my wife and sons, and it did so far more than I had a right to hope. "Let us now make some food," said my wife. "We are sure to need it, for this will no doubt be a night to try our strengths." My wife got some food for her boys, which we were glad to see them eat, poor as it was. But we could not share their meal. 3 out of the 4 were put to bed in their berths, and soon went to sleep. But Fritz, who was our first child, would not leave us. He said, like a good son, that he would try to be of some use, and think what could be done. "If we could but find some cork," said Fritz to me in a low tone, "we might make floats. You and I will not need them, for we can swim, but the rest will want such means to keep them up." "A good thought," said I. "Let us try to find what things there are in the ship that we can thus make use of." We soon found some casks and ropes, and with these we made a kind of float for each of the 3 boys, and then my wife made one for her own use. This done, we got some knives, string, and such things as we could make fast to our belts. We did not fail to look for and find a flint and steel, and the box in which the burnt rags were kept, for these were at that time in use as the means to strike a light. Fritz, who was now well nigh worn out, lay down on his bed and slept like the rest. As for me and my poor wife, we kept watch, each in fear lest the next wave should lift the ship off a rock and break it up. I need not tell you how glad we were when we saw the first gleam of light. At dawn the wind did not blow so strong, the sky was clear of clouds, and we saw the sun rise, and with it rose our hopes. I soon had my wife and sons on deck. "Where are the men?" they said. "How can we steer the ship?" "My dear boys," said I, "he who has kept us safe till now will still aid us. Let all hands set to work, and leave the rest to God." At these words we all went to work with a will. My wife went to feed the livestock, Fritz set off in search of arms and the means to make use of them, and Ernest made his way to the tool chest. Jack ran to pick up what he could find, but as he got to one of the doors he gave it a push, and 2 huge dogs sprang out and leaped at him. He thought at first that they would bite him, but he soon found they meant him no harm, and one of them let him get on his back and ride up to me as I came from the hold of the ship. When the boys had done their search, and the spoil was brought on deck, we thought we had found all that we should need. "As for me," said my wife, "I have brought good news."
Sample complete. Ready to continue?